Hello, my name is Jelani Barnard, and I'm from Harrogate, Tennessee. I teach general music at Manorville Elementary. My proposal is music education's effect on academics through integration in elementary schools. Music integration is not common in elementary schools. Rarely do you see teachers giving students a brain break and letting them move around the room with music. More research needs to be explored about how general classroom teachers need to allow music integration. My first section in my review of literature is music education and student achievement. Several researchers have examined the possible effects that music has on student achievement. Brown explored the ideal of integrating hip-hop literacy into a fourth grade curriculum. Students' reading scores were compared with and without the hip-hop literacy integration. Brown found out that the results suggested that an increase in literacy scores using the hip-hop literacy, not only did scores increase, but the motivation and engagement of students changed. Kelly Deer explored a study that correlated TCAP test scores and music education in 4th and 8th grade students. The study suggested that if students were subject to music education, then their test scores were higher. However, a study done by LaCour suggested that music education did not necessarily increase scores. In further discussion, it was debated if the assessment called Texas Assessment of Knowledge and Skills were appropriate to use in comparison to music education. The second section is called Effectiveness of Music Integration in Academic Classes. Research has been done to find out if teachers integrate music into their curriculum. According to a study by Colwell in 2008, classroom teachers were given the opportunity to take a summer course in music integration, which resulted in their feeling more comfortable towards teaching music. However, when real life happened and the classroom teachers went back to their daily routines, the music integration became too burdensome. Walton conducted a study looking at the possible effects of music integration in a first grade reading class. The comparison of beginner readers and beginner singers was used to conduct with music and reading through a quantitative quasi-experimental study. The results suggested a small increase in reading scores. In further implications, Walton advised that if music is not taught as a class, then reading teachers should integrate it into their curriculum because music, through singing, could potentially be a solution for students who struggle with reading. From a study completed in 2004, Burke and Colwell concluded that having music integrated, especially in elementary years, is very important for enhancing the learning environment. My third and final section is called Keeping Music Education in Schools. In 2015, West and Claus stated that as music educators, we are in a difficult position of trying to articulate to various stakeholders the inherent value of a music education. In 2009, Southgate tried to link music involvement and student achievement together, but found that music acts as a mediator of educational outcomes. There are many grant opportunities for music education. Specifically, the Opus Foundation, according to Harris in 2004, helps with instrumental music education. In 2011, Andrews conducted a quantitative study on how a music specialist could integrate traditional core content areas into music education for kindergartners. The study was a success. It was concluded that if a music specialist can integrate core academics, then regular classroom teachers should as well. There is a need for study to find out how music integration impacts students. We also need to find out how general classroom teachers perceive music integration. The purpose of this qualitative phenomenological research study is to explore the perceptions of the general classroom elementary schools on music in schools. Here are my research questions. Number 1, these questions I will be asking the participants, which will be general classroom teachers. Number 1, do you integrate music into your curriculum? If so, how do you do it? Number 2, why do you, as a general classroom teacher, choose to integrate music? Number 3, what are your perceptions on music integration in elementary schools? In my methodology, my participants will be 24 purposefully selected regular education elementary teachers from Tennessee who have music as a class in their schools. And they need to at least have 2 years experience in teaching. The goal will be to have 24 different schools represented in this study. 8 elementary teachers from each district in Tennessee. With the interviews, here is the protocols. First, I will send a cover letter. Then there will be 2 consent letters sent out. One will be to get permission for videoing a teacher's lesson and to view their documents that they create. And the second one will be for parents of the students who I will be able to video. The structured interviews, I will be asking the same questions to all participants and will rate them with a standardized scoring system and coding scheme. Moving on to FaceTime and recording. The cool thing about this qualitative phenomenological study is that it can be conducted through email and FaceTime. The only thing that you need to give and have access to is the internet and just to give personal time. So with FaceTime and the recording, I will be doing that at the same time, of course. The first interview will be about demographics, just to touch base with the participant and say, hey, how are you doing? And the second initial interview will be about the questions. And finally, the documents and videos. Documents will, of course, be the lesson plans from the teachers, and the video will be of a lesson where the teachers actually integrate music. And going back to the documents, the lesson plans need to be a lesson where the music is integrated as well. All right, here is my procedure recipe. First, I will locate elementary schools and districts in Tennessee, which there are 3 in Tennessee. The goal will be to get 8 participants from each district. Okay. Second will be to contact the school's district, make sure everything is good to go. Number 3, I will conduct the demographic interview, FaceTime. Number 4 will be the documents, and number 5 will be the initial interview. My analysis of the data. The Pearson's correlation test will be used in the data analysis because the data type is continuous. There will be a frequency table and the central tendency will be mode. With the interview process, I will be going by 5 rules. Number 1, the evidence will be concrete, detailed, descriptions have been obtained from the participants. Number 2, the phenomenological reduction has been maintained throughout the analysis. Number 3, essential meanings have been discovered. Number 4, a structure has been articulated, of course with the frequency table. And number 5, the raw data has verified the results. I will go through these 5 rules with each interview process. Simply listening to music is a start to integrate music into a general classroom. Moving on to movement in the general classroom. You can have students move around the room, take simple brain breaks. This allows for the mind to restart and refocus. And then actually going to the music room and playing and creating music. This research will potentially show music and integration's effect in the elementary classroom. Thank you.